I'm Abigail White, and I'm a ghost athlete.
From the Bay to the A with the baddies in the valley. Had to ran up 6 figures at the Kelly. Tell them F you pay me like my name was Sally. Tell them don't drown, trying to catch this wave. Ain't no stopping me. It's a strong gun robbery. They can't do it for me, just to say the least. I'ma get head rent free and I ain't sign a lease.
I started getting into the gym more so because I had always had issues with body image, and I had really bad eating disorders in college. I fell into like the freshman 15, or more like freshman 30, which turned into freshman 35, which still loved myself, but I knew that I could be healthier, and I knew that I wanted better for myself. I was a cardio bunny, so I thought going on the treadmill every single day was just gonna do it for me. And then I started doing my research, started getting more into it, started weight training, and then I started posting my progress, and that's when people started following, like, wow, like that's how you started and this is where you're at. It just came so naturally, and it felt so good seeing the impact that I had on younger girls, where they would say that they also had eating disorders or they suffered with body image, and me being so open about every issue that I had, it helped them realize that it's okay to feel that way, but it's not okay to be down on yourself, and working towards being better is like an option. I started doing TikTok right when COVID hit. I was in college, just kind of did it for fun, something to actually take my mind off the fact that you couldn't go anywhere or do anything. Did those really lame trends, and then from there I just kind of started realizing I kind of need to formulate who I am as opposed to just doing these trends. Like, I want to show people who I am, I want to showcase my personality. I was in 21 credit hours. It was all my time in the library, and if I wasn't in the library, I was sleeping, and if I wasn't sleeping, it was TikTok. There was a moment where I kind of realized, okay, I either need to 100% focus on going into medical school and that part of my future, or I need to really just full send it into social media. And that's when I graduated. I had my quarter life crisis, and I told my dad, I think I want to pursue social media full time, and I have my degree. I knew that I always had something to come back to because I already put in that work as well. So I started just kind of following suit with everything that I had learned. And in a span of, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks, I went from 30,000 to then 50,000 to then 110,000. Once I graduated, I decided I need to actually know what the hell I'm doing and what I'm talking about, especially if I'm going to be guiding other young females online. So I got my personal training certification, and I also got certified in being a nutritionist. So I'm not just kind of talking out my ass and just telling people, no, you shouldn't eat that, or you should eat this and that. It's actually backed by science. Ghost has been in my DMs for a while. They had DM'd me back in September of 2022, and I was just playing hard to get. I would be sent products by another company because I was working with them, but I would go to a gas station and buy Ghost. I was like, this feels very counterintuitive. Like, why am I promoting something I don't believe in, but consuming something I do? So I cut ties with other companies, kind of circled back around to Ghost, and I had a FaceTime call with a guy who's no longer with the company, but he was telling me everything about Ghost and, you know, how they treat their athletes and what they want for their athletes. And I was like, this just makes sense. Like, why am I not doing this? I ended up signing with Ghost back in December of 2023, but I have genuinely never been happier. Every single time I come to a shoot, they always have coffee. Always. They always ask if you need anything. They're so accommodating. They take you on really fun dinners to like show appreciation and, you know, formulating friendships and not just a face. There's always a helping hand extended no matter what. Not only do they believe in their products, they believe in their athletes. As much as like I love events and shoots and stuff, my favorite part of being with Ghost and like my favorite experiences have always been at the end of the day, the end of the shoots, when they order Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever, and we're all just sitting at the table, like on the couches, and we're just like debriefing the whole day, and everyone's just talking about what they've been up to and what they've been doing. It's almost like being in a little like 90s sitcom at the end of the day. It's so wholesome, and it's so fulfilling. The events are cool, anyone can throw an event, but not every company can give you that family feeling. Back 2 years ago, I had to have an emergency surgery that pulled me out of my bodybuilding show. You know, I was training for it for several months, and in the blink of an eye, it all got stripped away from me. And so what I learned from that experience of being bedridden for a week straight, having to literally relearn how to walk, is to just tell people that you should genuinely, as cliche as it sounds, live every single day like your last. Tell every single person you love them day in and day out. I don't care if you're arguing with them. I don't care if they're not your favorite person in the world. Be nice, be generous, and be considerate, because you just don't know when you won't have the opportunity to be those ways again, and you don't want to live with any regret. Although my legend status has already been given to me through Ghost, I want to create what I think it means to be a legend, and that would be to have a true, lasting impact on the hearts and minds of young girls, showing them that just because you may be in a male-dominant space, it does not mean you are any less deserving of where you want to be or where you can go, and showing people that you can make it through the worst of times with believing in yourself and having yourself backed by those who believe in you as well. I feel like I would be a legend when the first thing that comes to people's mind when they think of me is resilience and faith and love. It's very easy to become sour when things go bad in life, when things don't go your way, when you have a bad day, but to remain loving and uplifting through those things, that is legendary in my eyes. And that is how I would want to be remembered, is no matter what, no matter who it is, whether you're new in my life or you've been my friend for 15 years, I will love you just as hard from day one until the day that I die.